everybody. Now this is a preventative exercise which we are now going to show you. This is going to show you how to desensitise and put on a harness without causing stress or trauma. Now a lot of people tell me that their dogs are scared of their harnesses, and when I go in and I have a little look and see what's going on, it's not the harness the puppy or the dog is scared of, it's actually the event of it being put on that they're scared of. Because puppies and young dogs are quite restless and there's paws going everywhere, and also because it's quite hard to put on some of those harnesses because they've got clips here, there and everywhere, so you're faffing about yourself, you can accidentally create an event and a stressful event for your dog. So when they're running away from you, they're actually running away because of the restraint and the stress of the restraint of the situation. Now that can cause problems later on down in the line when they might need to be restrained for care activities. So we want to show you how you can put on a harness without fuss, or desensitise a harness at the beginning if your dog has already started to fear it being put on, and therefore that can help you and your dog as you go on later on in life.
Okay, so let's get started. Obviously, we are talking about harnesses here, but this also goes for any piece of equipment that you want to put on your dog. We do need to make sure, however, that none of the pieces of equipment that we are using are aversive and are going to cause fear or discomfort to our dogs. Now for this exercise, I am going to use Murphy's harness. Now this harness is a comfortable harness and it's non-aversive, but for Murphy, having his harness put on isn't his favourite thing to do. If your puppy or dog has already started to indicate that they're a little bit uncomfortable when you are putting on a piece of equipment, the best thing to do is to start with a desensitisation process to teach them that the piece of equipment, in this instance the harness, actually means nice things happen. This is what I am doing here. So you will see that I am putting the harness behind my back, showing the harness to Murphy, and when he sees it, he's getting a treat. It's quite simple in that the harness means treat, which means nice things happen. If your dog has already started to associate the piece of equipment or harness with a negative event, we will need to do lots and lots of this before we move on to the next stages. Every now and then, get the harness out, give your dog a treat, and then put it away again, so that we really are desensitising that event for them. The next stage is to start letting your dog investigate the piece of equipment. So holding it out, letting him come towards it, letting him have a sniff, learning that it's not a bad thing, and then popping it away again. Each time he investigates it, he gets a treat, because again, we really want to create that association that it means nice things happen. I'm then going to start moving it around very, very slightly so that, again, I can teach him that me moving the harness in my hands means nice things happen, not bad things happen. So every time I move it, I then give him a treat. Now it's really important here that we take it at each dog's pace and we go as slow as we need to go. We don't want our dogs to show any signs of fear. So if they do, that means we are going too quick and we must go back a stage. So please, please, please work with the dog in front of you and take it nice and slowly and nice and steady. Now because Murphy is doing really well here, I'm going to proceed to the next stage. Now this harness doesn't actually have to go over Murphy's head when it fits on him. However, I am showing you what to do if you do need to put something over your dog's head. So you can see I am feeding Murphy through the harness, holding the harness nice and still. Eventually, he puts more of his head through to get the treat and becomes more confident with it passing over his head. Now we're quite lucky here because this harness that we're using can fit on in many different ways. For Murphy, I find it easier if we put one paw in and then clip it up around his body rather than going over his head. Murphy has already been taught to give paw, so I am going to use this to help teach him to give paw when the harness is in front of him. This means he has a choice. He can choose to give me his paw when the harness is in front of him. We practice a few repetitions of this so that he has that choice to lift his paw when the harness is around. If your dog hasn't been taught paw, you can start to very gently lift your dog's paw whilst you have the harness in your hand. Again, do lots of repetitions of this and make sure your dog is happy with lifting up their paw to put it in the harness before you clip the harness on. Once your dog is well practiced at that and can tolerate putting their paw through the harness, or indeed their head through the harness, you can then proceed to clipping it on. You can see here that I have given Murphy a treat during and after having it put on, again so that he learns that it means nice things happen. Now you can see that Murphy is nice and calm, and that is because of the process and the steps that we have just taken. Because he is calm, I am calm, which means it's a lot easier to be put on, and therefore there is no longer a negative event being associated with it.